Hello and welcome to the SLC Game of the Week from beautiful Southern California. I'm Alex Eagle and I'm calling this game between CSU Fullerton and University of Maryland, Minnesota-Duluth. University of Minnesota-Duluth comes from off of a win yesterday against Sierra Nevada, and pretty dominating win, 21-6. So, couple things. Minnesota-Duluth is a Division II club team from the UMLC, and they come in hot with a record of 7-2. Their losses coming a 6-goal loss to North Dakota State and a 1-goal loss to Michigan State, the Division I program. So they look good this year, and I'm excited to see them play for the first time. Fullerton's been good in the SLC. They have a 5-3 record, but they've dropped 3 lately. An 11-8 loss to Northern Arizona, a 9-8 loss to MSU Denver, and then dropped a 7-goal loss to Sierra Nevada. So we'll see if they can right the ship here today against Minnesota. Sorry. So as we bring them out to the starting lineups, a couple key players to watch for Minnesota-Duluth. You got number 23 Scott McNamara, number 22 Jared Johnson, and number 11 Brian Tremonti. Those 3 attackmen will be big for Minnesota. And Fullerton brings back a good amount of players from last year. Most notably their goalie Mikey Henry, number 1. He'll have to have a really good game today to shut down this Minnesota-Duluth offense. So here comes the opening face-off. We have number 22 for Fullerton. He is, I don't see him on the roster today, so we'll have to figure out what number he usually wears. But both stand-up stances, and we're going to be off and running here. Nice little quick clamp from Fullerton. Gets it out behind him. No push call there. No. Good ground ball. Number 15 for Minnesota-Duluth. Blake Barta, but then a quick turnover gives the ball back to Fullerton. So you'll notice ground balls are going to be obviously huge in any game. But especially in this one, where you'll really have to get low for those ground balls. The grass is pretty bumpy, and not the nice turf that most teams are used to playing on and practicing on. So I guarantee coaches are going to be emphasizing to stay patient on ground balls and scooping through them. So a quick turnover from Fullerton. So we haven't seen a settled offense yet, but 2 good clears. Fullerton got in a little trouble once they touched it in, but I did talking to the Minnesota-Duluth coach before the game. He says that their defense is something they lean on a lot, so they don't give up a lot of goals, and they expect their defense to play well today. So here's, I think, McNamara, 23, lefty, inside roll, comes across crease, no slide, couple of pump fakes and buries it. That's too easy, if you ask me. Fullerton's got to slide. You got to know coming in that 23s, Scott McNamara is their top scorer with 36 goals and 27 assists already. It's very impressive. 63 points on the season. The next highest person on his team has 28 points. So you got to know he's their main goal scorer, and you got to slide to him. So a good face-off win. Blake Barta gets it back to himself. So they have 2 face-off wins. So that's a good way for Fullerton to stop momentum and hold the ball. But they're not winning that face-off. They gotta start winning some face-offs. There's a quick shot. That lefty wing, I believe that was McNamara again. Feet across crease and goal. So a simple cutter on the backside. Fullerton, not bad defense, but good stick handle, ball handle by the attack, the midi cutting down the pipe, and a goal. So that's a quick 2-0. We have 13 minutes left in that first quarter. Fullerton needs the ball here. So we'll see a pull at the faceoff. Oh, no, not a pull, sorry. Still Blake Barta for UMD. And Barta wins the clamp, back to himself. Too easy. UMD's back on offense. Gets the pull. Look to a pull. That's a good shot. Good save. That's then long pull ends up with his own rebound. That's good hustle. And so they're going to go through their substitutions. Here they go. One through the midline, one through the box. This is good substituting. Now Fullerton needs to mark up as they come in. Let's see this. So this is really UMD's first settled possession where we'll get to see some dodges to the midfield. So we hear from the bench that he's a lefty, or maybe I heard make him a lefty, but so we got goalkeeper way out of the goal. Great ground ball. He's in trouble now. Got to find help. Ball's down. Now they got no goalie in the goal. Got to get back in, and that's going to finish. Yeah. Oh. Great recovery by the Fullerton defense. That was McNamara on the crease. I can't imagine he doesn't put in a lot of those. Little ambitious pass by Mikey Henry. Not complete. Fullerton's going to be in trouble if they can't clear the ball. By my count, that's 2 failed clears. But great save by Mikey on the crease there. So now he's directing traffic. Nice clear to the middle midi. He's got to get over the midline. Those are attackmen. Now he sees the pole, moves it over. Now let's see if Fullerton can settle it down. They've been known in the past. I did a game for them last year. They've been known to hold on to the ball for 2 minutes at a time. I know I did a game, Fullerton versus Concordia last year, and the Concordia coach was constantly trying to call for stall calls. The coach for Fullerton loves to just sit on the ball, cycle it around. You really take the air out of the ball. So we see them set up in a 2-through-1. The attackman cuts through. We got a dodge, feed to the crease. It's still a pass. It's not going out of bounds. All right, so they're going to set it back up. A little sweep with the pick. That's a good pick. Just got to bury it low. Ooh, off stick high, not a bad shot. Goalie's a lefty, so he did put it off stick high, but I think the goalie saw it the whole time. So easy clear by by Minnesota. Here's McNamara with the ball. This is the man you want the ball in his stick. Oh, good check. Great defense. I can't imagine that happens to McNamara often either. So now they're subbing through the midline. They need another man on the field. Minnesota does. There he comes through the box. Good slide. Recover now. Good. Dodge on the backside. All right. Minnesota's got to get organized here. A little disorganized. All right. So that D-mid, you got to force him down toward X. He gets beat topside. There's a late or no slide, and it's a good look. Throughout the course of the game, if Fullerton keeps giving up those type of looks, it's going to be a long game. So that ball, I think, hit his throat guard and then went down into his chest pad. Mikey grabs it from his chest pad, puts it in his stick, which is legal. The goalie can use his hand, but the ref blew it dead because, usually when the ball's in this gear, it takes the goalie a second to realize it and find it. Mikey's, done that before, so he just grabs that ball out of his chest protector and is ready to go. He's fired up. That's a good save. He had a couple good ones on that possession, but again, struggling in the clear. Not a lot of space in the midfield. All right, they got semi-lucky there with the bounce of the ball. Ends up in their stick. Here comes the timeout. So early timeout by Fullerton. He really needs a goal here, down 2-0, and I expect him to be talking about that clear, but also talking about this offensive possession. They need a goal pretty desperately. They haven't had a good look on. Well, they had one good look on Cage, but it was down the alley dodge, and I feel like teams are usually best off of ball movement. So he shot on the run, but the goalie's staring at him the whole time. He gets to set his feet, meaning the goalie gets to set his feet and have a good look at the ball coming out of that shooter's stick. Where if he's on one side of the pipe and then you pass it through to the backside, he has to move, find the ball in that kid's stick, and find the release to save the ball. So it's not a bad shot, but I think they can work for better. So I think we're going to step away for a second, and we'll be right back. And we're back. Fullerton's coming out of this timeout, and I believe we gotta show this 2-3-1. We're gonna have some midi dodges from up top, and we gotta bounce this ball through X. Oh no, we cannot have a turnover on the first pass. That is absolutely ridiculous. Coach has got to be just livid. First pass out of a timeout, can't complete it. That's poor. Well, we're back on offense with UMD. They're showing 3 high midfielders, 1 on the crease. So we're gonna get a dodge here from 39. Let's see. So get into the middle. So we hear some good communication from the Fullerton. We hear good communication from the Fullerton defense, but they're not acting on that communication. They're saying, okay, I got hot, I got 2, but they're not actually sliding. You have a short stick on the wing, you have to support your short stick matchups. All offenses, I would say pretty much all offenses in the MCLA initiate offense, dodging short sticks. Okay, so here comes the replay. A little pick, no communication, late slide. I didn't see the pick on the first time we saw it, but on that replay, we see a little 2-man game, short stick to short stick on the far wing, so the lefty wing, and as a short stick, on a short stick on short stick matchup, with any picks, you should switch them because you're not at any disadvantage because it's just short on short. Like if it was a big little screen, you might have to get through it to keep a matchup. But when a short stick defender and another short stick defender, they're setting picks for each other, then you should switch them every time. So poor communication leads to another Minnesota goal and another face-off win by Blake Barda, and we're back on offense with UMD. Look at this shifty. That was great dodging. Skip pass. Look at this good ball movement. He's got a good check on his hands as he shot it. That's McNamara. That was good defense from number 18 on Fullerton. Again, I don't have 18 on my roster. On the MCLA website, they have 2 number 17s. So that could be Jason Chin on defense, sophomore defenseman. But it was good defense either way. And a quick turn back with UMD on offense. This is number 36 on offense again with the pole. He had one shot earlier, and he's going to stay for a bit and check it out. But he's cleared the ball a couple times. He's all over the field right now. Good cutter, good check. So as a coach, I don't know. As you know, you're trying to sub off that pole. You're playing. You only have 5 guys on offense. You usually want to settle that ball. Just don't need to force feed a cutter. But now they got all 6 men on offense, so they'll initiate offense here. Ooh, great shot. It was a little unsettled there. That ground ball on the far wing. They move it to this wing, and then they dodge that lefty alley. No slide ready. We'll see this replay. So the ground ball, move it once. He'll move it again, and then here comes this lefty alley dodge, and we have that side in the middle. Honestly, I feel like maybe the D-mid's got to get a little more push on him, and but that honestly was a great shot right in that lower pipe. It hit the pipe and went in. So a little change up on the on the wing. Number 7 for Fullerton actually played behind the UMD faceoff guy. So he's Blake Barda. He's been pulling it backwards to himself. So the number 7 actually jumped from the left side to the right side, meaning behind Blake. But Blake realized it and then pushes it forward. That's little games you can do at the faceoff X to try to stop and try to get a ground ball. Interesting, because the very first faceoff we had, number 22 for Fullerton actually won it to himself. They ended up losing the ground ball, but then since then he hasn't won a clamps yet. So I don't know what Blake Barda did, what adjustment he made to win those clamps, but I feel whatever number 22 did with on Fullerton, whatever he did the first face-off, he should probably go back to, because he did win that first clamp. Again, number 22 is not on their roster, so I'm not really sure who he is. But one interesting thing, so here's the 10 counts on. They got to get it in the box. But one interesting thing is I actually played high school travel ball with the goalie for Fullerton, Mikey. So he loves to come out of the goal and try to clear it himself. It's a blessing and a curse as a coach, because he'll make some unbelievable plays where he'll run through checks and he'll clear the ball himself. But sometimes he gets himself in trouble and then he's way out of the goal. So here's an easy look. Fullerton's heads are spinning. That makes it 5-0, 3 minutes and 46 seconds left, and here comes a replay. I think we're just not going to – we're going to get the middies too high, and this pole on the crease is going to have to slide over, and we have absolutely no two-slide. I'm not really sure if we even needed the slide, but the pole chooses to slide, and we got to have a two-slide. So the middies are up up on the top of the box, not guarding the crease. You know, it's a combination of being tired, being lazy, and you know, maybe a little defeated at this point. Even though it's early in this game, but might feel a little defeated. Can't win a face-off. Can't have possessions on offense. Failed clears. Here comes a failed clear by UMD. Wow, what an athletic play! But keeps it in play. But what I'm saying is, Fullerton, if you don't win face-offs and you fail clears, you're not going to get a lot of offensive possessions. And when you're constantly on defense and constantly getting scored on defense, your obviously your morale goes down pretty fast. And see, again, another failed clear, and we're back on offense with UMD. It's, you know, 3 minutes left in the first quarter. I can't speak for, well, they haven't had it in the box, but I'd almost rather see another timeout by Fullerton and just try to get one goal, you know. But obviously they have to have the ball on offense to call the timeout. There's a good slide, skip pass, good look to the crease, great defense. So that's a good. Oh, come on. So that's good defense. We slid, we recovered with number 13. I'm saying the defense recovered with number 13. And again, another failed clear. But we recovered with number 13 to the crease, and number 10 then bounced out to the backside. Number 13 recovered fast enough to get to the crease man to get a check on him. So that's a good, you know, slide, recover, bump. You know, that's as a defensive coach, that's what you want to see. But you can't keep playing defense and fail clears. All right, so we're going to try another clear here for Fullerton, and you gotta clear this ball. You gotta get in the box. With 2 minutes left, you know, Fullerton can wipe all this time out. The way they love to sit on the ball. Oh, good look. God, you gotta bury that. Well, we got a little spark from the Fullerton offense. Maybe that's just the momentum they needed here. They have 1:50 left in the first. I'd imagine they'd hold for this last shot. It seems like a long time, but the same coach from last year, same offensive coordinator, and I swear last year they sat on the ball for 2 minutes easily against Concordia when we did their game last year. So we'll see. But as a Fullerton attackman, you can't get antsy just because you haven't really seen the ball. This is not a bad skip pass, good look. Unfortunately, the shooter hit the defenseman in front. He did have the stick in his left hand to increase his angle on the shot, but I'd like to see a hitch. You know, the goalie, the defenseman in front of him did duck. If you give a little hitch and go topside and increase your angle even more, then you can score. But on the other side, we get UMD in transition, and we get another goal cut to the crease. I believe that was number 11. That's number 11. That's Tremonti. Sorry. Coach did speak about him pregame, so I should have had it. But yeah, that was number 11, Tremonti. He's one of their top scorers on offense. So we'll see a minute left here in the first. 6-0 UMD. Let's see if Blake Barta can win this face-off and they can get another offensive possession. So no fast break for Fullerton. They're back. He's going to go backwards. And they'll get another possession. Ooh, all right. He's white released early. Oh, that's a... So the ref ruled that that the attackman left the box before possession was gained. The attackman and defenseman, for those who don't know, have to stay in the box in their respective offensive and defensive boxes until possession is gained. So here is a little force to the crease by UMD, and then we have goalie interference. So you're not, and when the ball is when the goalie is in his crease, you can't touch him. So that was what that call was. That gave the ball to Fullerton, and then you get an aggressive pass by Mikey Henry, and he throws the ball away on the clear. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I gotta say that their clearing percentage is quite low for Fullerton. So we got 15 seconds left. 15 seconds left in the quarter. And off cage, so we're going to have 6 seconds left. Oh, the clock's still running. Well, bad clock stoppage by them. But there's about 7 seconds left. They lost 2 seconds here. To 5, 3, 2, ball down. So that's going to be the quarter. 6-0 UMD, and we'll be right back.
If you're a player looking for a lightweight head that delivers power and control, string up the Under Armour Command Low.
And we're back here at Robb Field in Ocean Beach. You're getting a good look of the San Diego River, which is just north of us now. We're getting a beautiful day here in Southern California. It's at the Jam by the Sea tournament. This is an annual tournament. I believe for the funding goes toward the American Cancer Society, and I actually had the pleasure of playing in the men's division of this tournament this weekend with the San Diego Lacrosse Club. So it's a great tournament, great turnout, and a beautiful day for it. So as the teams come out here, if I'm Fullerton, I mean, the first thing I'm talking about is the face-off. We got to win some ground balls. The second thing I'm talking about is the clear. We got to clear the ball. The third thing I'm talking about is slides, and the fourth thing I'm probably talking about is offensive possessions, because we haven't had any. So, I mean, we got to do all the other things before we start talking about what we want to do on offense. I mean, we haven't even really had the ball as if I'm Fullerton. So again, first thing I'm talking about is this face-off. So the Fullerton's got to win a face-off. If they don't, they got to clear the ball. I mean, I'm saying the same things over and over again, but it's just the truth. It's a good ground ball. Oh, that's a sketchy look there. So they're still on their 30 count. So once they gain possession, they have 30 seconds to get it in the offensive box. So I'll let you know when it hits the 10. The referee right in front of me will tell me. They're up. Who's got it? The ref? Oh, he's in. So we didn't even get to the 10 count. But for those of you who don't know, once you gain possession, you have 30 seconds to touch it in the offensive zone, the restraining box. And so the refs have a 20-second counter on their hip. They'll hit it. Once that buzzer goes off, they'll hand count. You'll see they'll count with their arm 10 seconds. From there, you have to touch it in the box. That's different from high school, where you have 20 seconds to cross over the midline. Then once you're over the midline, now you have 10 seconds to get in the box. So it's instead of a full 30 to do the whole thing, you have 20 and a 10. So there you had too many men on UMD, and they actually have too many men now. They just sub two and brought in two. So you'll notice that right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, sorry, I apologize. I was wrong. But they did have too many men. That was a turnover. They must have had 3 come off and then only 2 go on. So they do have enough right now. But so this is good. This is good for Fullerton. This is a good. They needed this out of the quarter break. They could really use a goal, obviously. But as we spoke about earlier, UMD prides themselves on defense. Their coach spoke of how their defense is, kind of their foundation of their team. Their goalie play is really good. So obviously another turnover from Fullerton. Not a bad look, but he's coming around X and for the sneak, and he throws the ball low and out of bounds. But fortunately for Fullerton, UMD turns it over on the clear, and you'll see Fullerton attempt to clear the ball. They get it to the shorty, and he's just got to get over the midline. These are attackmen. If he gets over the midline, they have to stop. So good job. Good. So he hasn't touched it in yet, but so bad pass. There's the 20. So we got a push from behind on UMD, Fullerton ball. So again, we'll have an offensive possession from Fullerton, see if they can manage to get a good look on goal. Good, dodging the pole, that's a slash. So we'll get a man up. So Fullerton will get a minute man up. 16 will find himself in the box. 26 or 16 will find himself in the box for a minute. Fullerton, if they would have scored that goal on that great look with that sneaker from X, they would have been man up for a minute as well. So they would have had the goal. We call it like an and one. So you would have the goal, and you would have been man up on the face-off. So that it's a great look. They needed that goal, but they will get a man up here. So they are starting in an open set that Fullerton is. So we'll see how they'll probably send some cutters through and try to look for like what we call like a wheel. So they'll carry and replace and try to, because they have an extra man, they'll try to get defense playing on one side of the field and then pass it over to the other side. So there's some cutters, good feed, great defense by UMD, get out on his hands. He's complaining about a check in the back, but you're not going to get that call. So again, open set, timeout. So Fullerton didn't like what he saw there, or the Fullerton head coach didn't like what he saw there, and so he calls his second timeout of the half with 11 minutes and 48 seconds left, and Fullerton will still be man up. So we'll be right back. And we're back. Fullerton coming out of their second time out of the half. Again, man up. So they have 6 players on the field, while UMD only has 5 defensemen. You'll see 4 long poles and 1 short stick defensive midfielder. So we have number 26, Noah Olson, in the box for that slash. He was in there for a minute, so he'll come out pretty soon. I didn't get the time of the penalty, but so this is a good look by Fullerton, and they scored a goal. So that's a great timeout. They scored a goal. That's good momentum. 6-1. That's hopefully some positive energy coming from their team. So we'll get a replay here. Man up. So you'll see the cutter. They started in that open set again. You see the cutter to the crease, and it's going to be a lefty cut right here. That's a good finish. So he finished low. He finished stick side low, but the goalie's moving, right? So the goalie's behind. The goalie is watching the ball behind. The cutter goes, and then the goalie has to find the ball quickly. And that's what I was talking about earlier, is where if the goalie gets just to watch you hold the stick the whole time, then hold the ball the whole time, then he don't have to move his feet or his eyes. He's locked in. So we got an illegal procedure there so that's a good goal by Fullerton just to finish that off, and then we have an illegal procedure on the face-off. 3 of those and a half, and you get a 30-second technical foul. So that's their first of the half, but it's just something to watch for just in case Fullerton goes early on another face-off. Then they'll have 2. The third one, if he goes early again, will be a 30-second technical. So that's a good dodge down the alley. I believe that was number 19, Matthew Hockert. So we'll start the ball from X again. Great check. Number 10 did get beat, but then he throws this great wrap check on number 22, Jared Johnson. So that's a much-needed turnover, but again, that's a push. Oh, all right. Ref didn't call it, but another failed clear by Fullerton. It's been pretty much the story of the day here today. So we'll get another UMD possession. We'll start it from up top with this dodge, righty alley. Good slide. Maybe not the shot UMD wants, right? So they drew that slide. You'll want to see them move that ball through X and attack the backside. So we have a little bit of an invert here. This is always interesting. So this is Tremonti guarded by a short stick. Slide early. That's a good cross-crease pass. Good rotation by Fullerton's defense. And Mikey Henry held that pipe well to save that ball. So here's another Fullerton adventure to try to clear this ball. It's always a good adventure to try to see if they can do this. Good. See it. And another failed clear. So as a coach, you're just pulling out your hair because, you can't do it for them. You draw it up on a board, and on that one they had middies going over the midline, attackmen going back on the other side. So there's a ward, get the ball back to Fullerton. But on the clear, you had attackmen going over the midline to try to just get that ball, and you had middies stepping over so they're not offsides. But see, even here on the simplest clear, they have trouble just simply passing and catching. But luckily, they get the ball back, and now they're on offense. Not a bad look to the crease. Their offense isn't organized, and I'm kind of surprised to see that out of Fullerton. They're dodging early to the goal, where again last year we did their game, and it was. You could take a nap when they got the ball. You just sit there. They're going to have the ball for 20 minutes at a time. So boring. But so there's good UMD clear and a fast break goal. I actually don't know how that happened because it was just a basic clear. Fullerton should have dropped in the hole, but they must have got caught sliding upfield. So we'll see the replay here. So here's the clear. It takes a while, so Fullerton should just be able to drop. So you get a slide up field there, then you get another slide up field by the defenseman, another slide up field by the defenseman. So, high school or youth defensemen listening at home, you don't want to slide upfield. We call it like a forecheck in hockey. You don't want to do that because you're giving up people closer to the goal. They're open. So just let them. It's not the end of the world for them to clear the ball, and you just get to play defense. You give up a one-on-none on the crease, and your goalie can't come up with that save because you keep sliding upfield. So again, riding in the MCLA, it's great if if you're Colorado Boulder and you have a great 10-man ride, but normally you just kind of give them a little bit give them a little bit of a ride and then let them clear the ball. It's not the end of the world. You'd rather have them clear the ball and play 6-on-6 defense than slide upfield and have a guy take the ball, take it a one-on-none to your goalie. So here comes the UMD possession. It looks like a 1-4-1 pop off the crease. I haven't seen this like settled look from them really yet. But so that's a pretty good offense. 1-4-1, dodge on the lefty alley, crease pops behind it, caught it. He would have bounced that one more to the backside, but maybe a little mishandle on the pass. So you'll see number 1, Mikey Henry, way out of the goal. He's so energetic, just flying around. This is VJ. He was in trouble. He's getting triple teamed. I mean, yeah, number 21's got to help him and move toward that pass, but I just don't really understand what the clear is supposed to look like. What did coach draw up on that board that they're not executing? Or is it purely just Fullerton just doing whatever they want, like if the players aren't listening? So there you hear the goalie yelling no topside. They're short stick. They're putting a short stick on number 11. That's Tremonti. I mentioned him earlier. He had a short stick on him before. That was a goal. So we saw an invert from him earlier. I don't know if Fullerton's meaning to do that by putting a short stick down on an attackman. You'll get 2 long sticks up at the midfield. But that's just an interesting matchup to see throughout the game. So we'll get a replay here of this goal. We just got a step down shot. Let's see how that happened. We just didn't mark up. Or when I say we, I'm talking defense. Sorry, I'm a defensive coach, so I speak of the defense when I say we. I'm not a CSU Fullerton alum. I'll say the same thing for UMD if they ever get to play defense. So another easy face-off win by UMD. Back on offense. Fullerton scrambling already. Hits. That's that hitch in the top side look. Great save. So that's exactly what I was talking about earlier that Fullerton could have done. It's a lefty fake shot, so we call it a hitch. And then the defense bites, or he probably even ducked because he's nervous of getting hit by a shot. And then you're now getting more angle to shoot the ball. You're looking at more net. But, yeah, I think that hit the goalie's top left shoulder. Got a kind of lucky body save. Mikey's been known for those. He's very active in the goal, so he so here it comes out of the goal. Look where you go. Maybe that's a way to clear the ball. So here comes. So we got about 6 minutes left in the second. Fullerton's maybe fourth possession of the half, of the quarter. See what we're gonna get. We got 3 high middies. They do love the open set. They used to run it. They ran it last year. So here we go. We're gonna get a dodge. Pulling them out. Now, I'm not a big fan of a midi looking like he's gonna dodge, but then backing out, letting the defense set and have a 2. You really want to dodge off a ball movement. So now this is a good call by coach. An invert, but VJ's mostly played D midi for them last year. Not much of a left hand, but so he did dodge his left hand. He got shut down on his right hand, moved back to rolled, went to his left, found the cutter on the crease. So that's good offense. I mean, if you have to go to, I wouldn't call it a gimmick, but if you have to go to the invert to produce goals, that's how you're going to have to do it. So 8-2, and we'll see a replay here. So this is VJ dodging at X. See, he's getting shut down his right. He says, screw it, I got to go left. He finds the crease, no 2 slide. That's a good goal. So, I mean, if I'm UMD, you're known for your defense. You only give up 2 goals, but you got to have that 2 slide. That's pretty elementary. To not have a 2 slide for them, I'm surprised. Who knows? Backs off ball cutters, they got nervous, but so Fullerton made that face off pretty scrappy. But again, UMD comes up with it. Oh, we got a backhand shot, and is that in? That's a goal. So that was pretty cool. A little backhand righty shot. He goes to his left, the left of the goal. we'll hopefully see a replay. He goes to the left of the goal, and he actually puts the stick in his right hand and wraps it back like behind him. That's a good goal. I mean, that's an athletic play by him. So we have the number 7 here from Fullerton asking the sideline if anyone wants to play LSM. That's he says you don't even have to go to the school, you can just jump on. So we can kind of see where their mindset's at with that comment. I don't want to say they're giving up, but it's pretty rough when all you do is play defense and can't clear the ball, can't win faceoffs. So there we get a clear. You get a turnover from UMD and then a clear by Fullerton. This attackman's got a shorty on him, but they got to settle the ball down. They got to get all their guys on. There they have all 6. So we got 4 minutes left, about 4:10 left in the second quarter. Fullerton with another possession. I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to that invert. They do have an attackman guarded by a short stick. He's at X right now. Okay, so we got a lefty dodge. Tried to skip it through. Not a bad look, but sticks in the passing lanes. That's good defense. The VJ's got to move the ball here. So getting a little nervous, drops it. Coach has no more timeouts in this half, so he's in trouble. He gets out of it, but throwing off his back foot, and he's got to be dead tired. No push, and UMD gets the ball. That's tough. I mean, again, VJ's a good hustle man, a good defensive midfielder. Maybe not the most sharpened offensive skills, but he's guarded by the pole there, gets a turn, and then the pole forces a turnover. Then we go the other way. We get D-Mitty lunging at the ball, and then we have a wide open guy on the backside. Here comes the replay. So you'll see as he brings down this ball, number 26 is going to lunge at him. We're going to slide across the crease, and no one's even there on the backside. So again, we're guarding men farther away from the goal than we got to guard the guy closest to the goal. Like, especially once you slide, you got to get in transition, all that. So we get a new guy at the faceoff X for UMD, maybe moving along down the bench, number 39, Ethan Peterson. Wins it clean. So that's even their backup winning it clean. 10-2 with 3 minutes left in the second quarter. UMD on offense again. They still have the pole on, so 2 poles on, so they'll sub. Not the smartest time to dodge, but it does a good job of it. Gets a shot on the pipe, off the pipe, goalie's best friend. So here comes number 6, cutting right down the middle. So it's a great look. They needed that spark in transition, but he puts it 6-side high. That's a tough look. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of time to get that ball off. So we're back on offense with UMD with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. Or that 1-4-1. Yeah, so they get a 1-4-1 near side cut. Crease pops. So they move that ball through X. Took him a while to get it to the backside, but eventually does. Tries to force the crease, but that's all right. Ooh, is this 19? Yeah, he's shifty. Ooh, goalie ball. Yeah, goalie ball. Yeah, so no backup on that one. That's the problem with the 1-4-1 is when you have that X sneak, you got to have one of your crease guys mirror so that you can have the backup. You can get backup. As an offense, you hate to turn over the ball with just no backup. Like, that's just bad balance of your attackman. So 19's a midfielder. He was on the wing. He dodges high. He skips it through to that X sneak, but then no one mirrored from the crease. And then we have, another turnover from Fullerton. Can't clear the ball. So now we're back down with offense on UMD with 1 minute and 25 seconds left in the half. UMD does have 2 timeouts, but at this point, I mean, it's not like you really need to call them. Unless one of your players gets in trouble double teamed, then you can call it. But so I think it's still that 1-4-1. I wasn't 100% sure on that one, but you get that near side cut, crease pops. That's good luck, good save. So you got under a minute, and we're under a minute in the half. If Fullerton can clear this ball, they don't have any timeouts, but they can get maybe one last look on the cage. Got to get over the midline. There you go. Look at this good speed. Good speed, touch it in. So we got 38 seconds left, and a short stick goes out there and takes the ball away from you. That's not what you want to see. Good one-hand pickup. That's impressive on this grass. I'll tell you for a fact that I missed a one-hand ground ball earlier today on the same grass. So I count that. You wouldn't count that in the books as a failed clear because technically he touched it in the box. But again, they didn't have an offensive possession, so it's not even. I would count as a failed clear. It won't go in the books as one, but so we're under 10. Another good look on cage. 7 seconds left, so we'll get a quick either feed to the crease. Yeah, gotta have the cutter. Can't see the clock. There's the horn. So there's halftime. It is 10-2 UMD, and hope you join us for the second half.
Shalom from Israel.
Put it on, guys.
You feel what?
I feel good.
Support the Uganda Lacrosse Foundation by donating at www.ugandalacrosse.org/donate/backthecranes.
If you're a player looking for a lightweight head that delivers power and control, string up the Under Armour Command Low.
Hello and welcome back for second half action here in Ocean Beach, San Diego. We're lining up for the second half, 10-2. University of Minnesota-Duluth in front of Cal State Fullerton. Some good back and forth action in the first half, dominated by Minnesota. Really across the board, Minnesota's dominating the face-off. I think Fullerton actually hasn't won one, so Minnesota's won. Was that make 14 of all 14, and then Fullerton struggling in the clear. So that's pretty much how we end up with 10-2. Is UMD has possession of the ball probably 28 of the 30 minutes, and but Fullerton does a good job making that first face-off a scrap, but the face-off guy loses his stick, and so he can't play without it, and so it becomes UMD ball once again. We get some offensive possession for UMD, so they'll probably sub this pole. Here he goes through the midline, and then the face-off guy is going to come off through the box. Number 15, Blake Barda. Apologize. Here he goes through the box. So they're just subbing. I mean, it's probably more of like a dummy dodge. Yeah, you're not going to create much when you only have 5 players on the field. Fullerton has a free slide at that point. So here comes a lefty dodge down this alley. I think that got tipped by a defender. It looked a little weird. But that's a good lefty dodge. I've seen 39 go left a couple times. He may be a lefty. I don't have a scout, but he may be a lefty. So here's number 20 with a lefty dodge. Again, deflected in front. I'm going to correct myself. 39's a righty. He picks up that ground ball righty, and he's standing off ball with his right hand in the stick in his right hand. So he's not a lefty, but he's chosen to go left a couple times. Here's 20, another lefty dodge, deflected in front once again. So that's three shots in a row deflected. So here's going to be this matchup at X. McNamara dodge into his left hand, feed to the crease. Good defense with his stick on his hand. Flag down, so this is going to be a Minnesota man up. But what we saw there was McNamara dodges to his left. 18 for Fullerton has his stick on McNamara's gloves, which makes it hard for McNamara to throw that pass. McNamara did have a guy wide open on the crease, but can't get it to him because a good check comes down on his gloves, makes that ball go straight into the dirt. So he couldn't handle that pass. Must have been a slash. Let's see. So here comes the ref telling the bench. Let's see. He's calling. Oh, we got a goalie change. Wow. Fullerton's goalie. They're putting new gear on a kid on the sideline. I don't think I've ever. It's not a penalty on the goalie. I don't know why they're doing this, but I've never seen them take the goalie out like a minute and 30 seconds left in the going minute 30 into the third quarter. Usually that happens at halftime. Usually that kind of change happens when you have 10 minutes during halftime. So this is interesting. I wonder if this is a charged timeout to Fullerton because they're changing goalies. Maybe the penalty was on the goalie. Now that I think about it, because it was kind of a scrum in front of the goal, and I couldn't tell who it was on. But Mikey's always been a little crazy with his stick, so he maybe was going after that ground ball and clocked someone over the head. He doesn't have gear on, so we're gonna get a new goalie. Number 21. I don't know if this kid's a normal backup goalie and just plays some midfield, but we're going to see what he's got, and he's going to pop into this man down situation. So again, 13 minutes and 28 seconds left. Sorry about that. So we do have a 1 minute penalty on Fullerton. So Minnesota started in an open set, cut a guy to the crease. McNamara found that skip pass through to number 22. The goalie, I'm just watching him. He has good footwork. He definitely looks like he's been there before, so he must be their backup goalie. He also might run some midfield, but he has good footwork in the goal. Good hand placement. There's a save. That's huge, and the Fullerton benches are definitely getting into this. Another huge save. Jeez. So you got to know someone's behind you. You're man down. And now we're going to be in a little bit of trouble here, but whereas the clearing team. Just nice little Gilman. That's not bad. All right, going to get this ground ball. So that's huge momentum for Fullerton. They bring in a backup goalie who didn't have gear before, not today, but like I don't know if they just have one set of goalie gear for the team, but he comes in and makes 2 or 3 huge saves on man down, and then Gilman's the ball, and luckily their attackman comes up with the clear, but then again obviously turns the ball over. We get another turnover by Minnesota, and we're back on offense with CSU Fullerton. This penalty is got to release pretty soon. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have still 5 players on offense for Fullerton. Here he comes. Here comes the 6. So that penalty is released. So we do have a good penalty kill for Fullerton, which is quite impressive with a backup goalie that put on gear during the timeout. So we get a force by Fullerton onto the crease. It's got to upset the coach there, but you get a turnover, and now you're back riding. Again, I can't emphasize enough how Fullerton, it's surprised me because Fullerton last year was a team, it wasn't hard to watch. It was just kind of boring because they would sit on the ball for 2 minutes at a time, just moving the ball in an open set, and Concordia's coach was just screaming for a timer. The 30-second shot clock. This game, I don't know if I've seen them get the ball around once. And there's a goal, number 36. That's Nicholas Timmons. That's his second shot of the game. He's been on offense a couple times. That's got to feel pretty good. He's pretty good with that long pole. He just little toe drag, brings it back, and with that length, even though he's lost so much angle, he can bring that stick to the middle of the field and gain angle. So here comes the replay. Fullerton's a little disorganized. They have guys honestly wide open all over the field. Here comes the pole, little toe drag, and pings on the far pipe. So that's a good goal. Here we go. Fullerton making a scrap. Blake picking it up again. Good clear by Fullerton. They'll get their guys on. The pole came off. Now here comes the face-off guy coming off, so they'll get all their middies on. As a coach for Minnesota, we should start seeing some second line, third line, fourth line middies. They came in, I got to say they at least have 30 guys, 40 guys deep on their roster, so and they all traveled here from Minnesota, so get some playing time for everybody. They did have a 21-6 game yesterday, so they did probably get some playing time yesterday as well. And there's a good skip pass. I believe that was McNamara at X. Skips it through. Looks like number 28. That's Ryan Larson. First time mentioning his name. But he catches it through the skip lanes and finishes it. A bounce shot. Here comes the replay. So we'll see. So that was a shot out of bounds. McNamara picks it up. And let's see. So he takes it to his left. We just get a simple backside cut. There's two guys wide open on the crease. Fullerton was just a little confused there. Not the first time today, though. And we got a timeout. I don't know who called it, but we did get a timeout, so we're going to step away for a second. We'll be right back.
If you're a player looking for a lightweight head that delivers power and control, string up the Under Armour Command Low.
And we're back after the University of Minnesota-Duluth calls that timeout. Not really sure what coach wanted to go over there in that huddle, but they called the timeout with 9 minutes and 50 seconds left in the third. And they get another possession, another face-off win. A little trouble on the clear, and they'll turn the ball over. So Fullerton gets this possession. 9 minutes and 37 seconds left again in the third quarter. The score is 12-2. They almost went offsides. Let's see if they can even clear it 20 yards to get in the box. All right, they're in, and let's get a settled possession. I mean, the middies should be fresh. I mean, yeah, maybe they're playing some good amount of defense, but I mean, with the amount of effort I feel like they're putting in, they could be pretty fresh to play on offense, especially their attackmen. I mean, their attackmen have kind of been staying around for the last 30 minutes to an hour, so good feed to the crease. Couldn't put it on cage, but they got the backup. And the attackmen have to have pretty good legs here, so I'd like to see, well, I mean, again, UMD coach did say that their defense is their backbone, their strong suit of their team. Good ground ball, but that doesn't mean you can't initiate offense from them. If you feel good with your attackmen, then you can definitely initiate offense through that. I mean, you might even like to see your middies set picks for your attackmen to get them switched onto a short stick, because I feel like their attackmen have to have the legs to initiate the offense, and the middies can kind of exchange or pop on the backside, but they don't have to be the ones with the legs to dodge. So there was a good dodge, drew a slide, moved it through X, forced the crease. But that's good offense. I mean, you want to dodge from the midfield if that's what you want. Okay, so here comes this invert. We saw this earlier. Got him hung. Doesn't want to go left. Got the stick ball taken away. I mean, the invert worked earlier. I mean, you have two goals, one on man up and one on the invert. So you did something right with that invert, and you go back to it. It's not a bad idea. So here's, I would have called interference there. Number 2 for UMD, Alex Horace. I apologize if I mispronounced that, but he did run straight into the pole for Fullerton, and that should, with your team having possession, that should be a turnover. But anyway, you got a good look from UMD. Good clear by Fullerton. Fast break, but again, VJ's played this whole game, and he's got to be tired. So he gets caught from behind. Good check, but so UMD turns the ball back over, and now you have Fullerton again trying to clear the ball. We'll get one through the box here. Yeah, good look. That's a good clear. So we had the defenseman, or the LSM, step off the field, and we had a midi step on, and it's almost like I call it teleporting, because he steps, you have a player step off, and then 20 yards down the field, you have another player step on, and that's relatively new, the 20-yard box. I believe maybe 6 years ago, it used to be a 10-yard box, so the jump was a little less. Now with the 20-yard box, you do get to gain a good amount of ground with that substitution. So that was good. That was a good clear, or well, a good attempt of a clear by Fullerton. But unfortunately, number 4 just drops the ball as he cradles or comes out of the box. So there's another goal by UMD, number 33. I haven't said his name. Marcus Olson finds McNamara, found him on the backside. So here comes the replay. McNamara, I believe a lefty. I mean, he's played the left side the whole time. So he puts in his right, step away, re-dodge, back in his right hand, finds Olson. Olson increases his angle by putting his stick in his left hand and buries it. I mean, Olson's wide open there, but it's good. It's a good job by him to put it in his left hand and bury that ball. A lot of young players will keep that in their right, and they won't have the angle they won't have as much angle to put it in the goal. So there's another. We saw 39 a little earlier. That's Ethan Peterson for UMD. Steps in for Blake to win another face-off. UMD back on offense. Here comes a rip. Mikey got a piece of that one, and I don't even know where that pole's throwing that ball. White's offside, so White stepped on that line. You can't even step on the line as an attackman. And UMD's back on offense, but Fullerton got the ball on the ground, and let's see who comes up with this one. It's in his crease, so it's a good play by Fullerton. They win that ground ball. Ball looks like it's stuck in the back of the net for a second. Jesus. All right, so we got ball going back to White. See if they can clear it this time. Mikey's throwing like a 60-yard pass. I mean, it's an accurate pass, but it hasn't worked all game. So I feel like you got to get your middies coming to the ball. Either that or find a 2-on-1 with a defenseman. This is Mikey with a swim move. This is pretty ridiculous, but pretty good job. I mean, it's a clear, something they haven't been doing all game. So another swim move, splits the double team. Let's see what he's got. Find backside, and now you got to settle it. Yeah, you hear the yellow call coming from the coach. So we got a successful clear and an offensive possession for Fullerton, and we'll see what they can do. Their lineup in their 2-3-1. Good back cut. You got to get the ball off. So that's a good slide. It was a good initial slide, but good patience by number 26 for Fullerton. Takes that check, rolls off of it. 36 goes over the head, misses, and then he's out of position to play more defense. Number 26 goes in and buries it. Here comes the replay here. So that was after the back cut. We got a little late, but that was after number 26 sent on the back cut. He back cut his guy because UMD was pressing out. So good feed, takes the hit, rolls off of it, and finds the back of the net. So that's 13-3 with under 4 minutes to go in the third, and we're back to the face-off X with number 22 for Fullerton having a pretty rough day, but he's won I believe two of the actual actual meaning he didn't win the ground ball, but he won the move. But again, Blake comes up with that one. So here comes a pretty easy clear, and UMD's back on offense. And again, if you're Fullerton, I mean, in general, you don't really mind them clearing the ball. That's just a college across team clearing the ball. It's it's a good job by them, but like you're down a man. Like when you're riding, you only have 6 players. They have 7. So, odds are you shouldn't take the ball away every time. Really much at all. So that's still a shot. That's a white ball. Yeah. So here we go. Fullerton's clearing again. Number 14 is going to run out of room here. Jeez. Here comes another 60-yard bomb and incomplete. Again, I mean, they have middies open coming out of the box, but I feel like you have to push it toward that side, meaning Mikey's standing on the opposite side of the box, meaning far away from the substitution box, and he's trying to throw like a 60-yard pass up and across the field. I mean, those guys are open, but it would benefit him more if Mikey was either a little closer or if those middies would come toward him. Clearing honestly shouldn't be this hard. Again, I'm not in the huddles. I'm not at practice. I don't know what their clear is supposed to look like, but I imagine this is not what coach draws up when he imagines they're clear when he coaches it. So here's a turnover by UMD. About 2 minutes left in the third. Good clear. And got the ball taken away from you, and it's out of bounds. Ooh, nope, he saved it. But saved it right to the other two. But not bad. I mean, he at least they cleared it, but he was double-teamed right away, most likely because they were subbing. But then a great save by Mikey. He one on none. He comes up with those sometimes. He's an athletic guy. He matches stick for stick. He's been there and done that before. And White's offsides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think they just didn't have enough guys on the field, unless in the box they stepped on. It's 50 yards away from me, but they only had 6 on offense, only 3 back. So maybe he stepped on and I couldn't see it, but either way, the ref called it right near the box. So he had obviously a better view than I did, and UMD's back on offense. Good pick off. I mean, if I'm 26 there, you make a great defensive play, and then you have a midfielder in front of you. Yes, he's in front of you, but you got to have one to beat. You just beat him one-on-one in the open field, make it an easier clear than this. You got a pole carrying over the ball. Good clear, terrible pass. I don't even know what he's trying to do there. Yeah, so the coach there, I can hear him from across the field. He's saying you either got to hold it or throw him a good pass. You can't, that's a lobbed pass to the middle of the field, over his head. It's like one difference I would say. I was at the Maryland UNC game last night up at Orange Coast College. One difference you see with those top-of-the-line teams, we see a goal on the crease from number 22. But one thing you see from those D1 players or even UMD, like those passes are crisp and they're right to their stick. They're not lobs. They're snapping their wrist. They're throwing it straight to, we call it the box, meaning right to the offensive player's stick. So here's the replay. Dodge down the alley. Nothing really happening. No draws. No slides. But they're just relaxed on the crease, and he finds himself wide open. So that's pretty bad defense. I mean, honestly, it's just bad defense. He, as a crease guy, when you're hot, you have to have a stick on your attackman as you're hot, or you have to have that 2-slide on the crease. So you can't have neither, right? And then you find your crease man wide open. So we got 3 seconds left in the quarter here. It's 14-3. He'll feed the crease. Nothing comes of it. And that's the quarter. So we're heading into the fourth quarter here. It's 14-3, UMD in the lead, and we'll be right back. Back for the final fourth quarter of action here at Robb Field in Ocean Beach. We have a score of 14-3, University of Minnesota-Duluth over CSU Fullerton. What I'm surprised about is, it's a 11-point game, and you still have your starters in the game. As if you're Minnesota. You have all three starting attackmen. You have your starting LSM. You have your starting face-off guy. This is a good time to get your guys in that don't get to play a lot in big games. Give them some experience so that when they come in later, in their career, they have experience. And it just keeps morale up. The kids who don't get to play as much, they're practicing hard. They're working hard, but if they don't get to see the field even when you're up 11, hopefully we see them change it up maybe a couple minutes in. But I mean the last thing you worry about is injuries. You have your best three players on an attack still. Your starting goalie's still there. You just never know. This field, I don't want to say anything bad voodoo, but it's just, I don't know. I'd put my backups in if I were University of Minnesota. You have a huge bench. Use it. So here's Fullerton with a good possession. We had a push call in the middle of the field, so that's why they have the ball. Looks like they're in a 3-1-2, but they have a midi on the crease, so who knows. Good ground ball. Yeah, if you're Fullerton, you initiate your offense. You initiate your offense through the short stick. So you dodge short stick to short stick, so that you can draw a slide and move the ball. When you're dodging the poles, teams are less likely to slide. So that was an over and back call, just like you would see in basketball, where if the possession, once Fullerton steps it in the box, you cannot go back over the midfield with the ball. So just like basketball. We're getting some seagulls flying by with some food in their mouth. It's pretty funny. But, we are right on the beach here in Ocean Beach. Tons of action going on around here. Skateboarders, softball, flag football, tons of traffic. just people loving Ocean Beach, loving this day, this Sunday. Beautiful day. So good play by UMD, keeping that ball on this half of the field. They'll keep possession. They'll find a wide open cutter. Great save. This kid's in trouble. It's all right. I mean, that was a good ground ball in the crease. He's just, I mean, you're getting double teamed. What a save. What a fake low. He faked low and then shot it high. Mikey's like on his knees and then still has the flexibility to get his hands high and save that ball. It was a great save. I mean, to be honest, that's what Mikey's kind of known for, especially when I played with him in high school. He'd make the most acrobatic saves, where you think he's just you think that's an easy goal as an attackman, and he's just so quick and finds that ball. So we did see number 11 sub off for UMD. That's Brian. I pronounced it earlier, Tremonte. But so hopefully we see him kind of just cool it off for the rest of the game. But we do get a Minnesota goal. And let's see if we can get a replay here. Here it comes. Oh, righty dodge down the alley, lefty roll back, feed to the crease, good cut, finish. So that's good offense. You had to slide to him because he got topside, but you got to have a more committed to, and you'll figure if he moves that through, if he keeps moving that where the two slide came from, you'll just have to rotate. But you do have to cover the crease first, and then figure it out on the backside later. You can't just let a cutter go through the crease wide open. So another face-off win, another clear. Now we have number 4. That he came in for number 11, so Jacob Pitts. So he looks pretty strong, cradling with his left hand, but maybe a little. So we might label him as a left-handed player. So that means handedness is a key as a defenseman. Because, at the Division I level, great players, you'll have two hands. You'll be able to go right and left confidently. There's a great goal down the alley righty score, put it 5-hole, number 20. But what I was saying is that's Cooper Scott Carlson. It's a solid name. But here comes the replay. So it'll just be a simple... he'll have the stick in his left hand, then he'll split to his right, no slide, and put it 5-hole. Yeah, I mean, if you're Fullerton, you need to support your short sticks. You need to have a 2. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you learn when you're in 8th grade or JV. But when you're tired and you're down by 13 or 12. At the time you're down by 12, you get kind of sick of it. So there's almost a face-off win for Fullerton. Ball's still on the ground, but it's UMD to the ball first. 26th. Here's number 4. So we're getting some backup in. This is number 39. We've seen him take some draws, but at least we're not seeing the starter Blake still out there. Again, I'm a fan of getting my second attack, getting my 3rd or 4th midfield line in the game at this point. If anything, just to for injuries. Good goal by number 17. That's a Curtis Tyrvold. Sorry, these Minnesota-Duluth names are not easy to pronounce. Here comes a replay. We're just going to get a simple dodge down the righty alley. Once again, no slide. Here he comes, righty down the alley. Beat him, goal. Again, I mean, I feel like a broken record, but Fullerton's got to slide. Fullerton's got to have a 2 slide. Fullerton's got to clear. Fullerton's got to win a face-off. But at this point in the game, as a defense, you might be mailing it in. We already heard from number 7 here on the wing. He's like, does anyone else want to play? So Here's Blake back at the faceoff X. Again, I don't really understand it, but I'm not their coach, so maybe he needs to practice. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it, but again, I mean, it's not just about being tired and getting the other guys in. It's about injury. You never know. Twist an ankle. If he's out for the next game, I don't know. You have so many guys on your bench. I just get them in. They all practice hard. They all want to play. They all travel out here on their spring break. But Fullerton's down a man. They're subbing. UMD didn't really take advantage of it, but still unorganized. Not a bad shot. Here's number 4 at X. They'll play a little 2-man game. He and McNamara, the 2 lefties. Guy gets through the pick, which is a good job. Again, I talked about it earlier where 2 short sticks can switch any pick because you don't mind the matchup. Realistically, any 2 poles can switch matchups too. Again, another pick, an okay switch. But you still need to support your short sticks. Just because they switch on a pick doesn't mean you don't support them, meaning you don't slide. We'll get a replay here. Here it comes. So a pick. Honestly, we're just a little late and lazy on the switch. I mean, we're 8 minutes and 46 seconds left in the 4th, and VJ's almost played this whole game either at offense, face-offs, D. So he's got to be a little tired, but and mentally just drained. But so what you want to do on a short stick switch, you got to now play on-ball defense. So you got to show up ready to hopefully send him back toward the pick, because that's where your help is right there, especially when he's coming righty. Maybe send him back to his left. But those are things that need to be covered in practice. Those are decisions made by the coach to say, okay, if we have a short stick on short sticks pick, then we'll hopefully switch it, but we called it a jump switch, where you want to jump the guy with the ball, send him back to where he came from. Here's a good possession for Fullerton. I'm sorry, but I think they just won their first face-off, so that's pretty good. Let's see if they can get a good possession here. When that ground ball, VG's going to step in, little face dodge. Good slide, good ball. That's a good pass. Feeling comfortable. Okay, they're in their open set. This is what we were comfortable with last year as a team. But I mean, you don't really have time for the open set anymore. But still, okay, we'll see a dodge here on the short stick. 26. Oh, moves it back to VJ. Here's the short stick. Oh. Eventually, we got to initiate offense here. But all right, we're going to initiate with the pole. Or on a pole, which again I'm not a big fan of, but if that's your best player at only 23, you wanna get him in a spot where he can take advantage of a mismatch. So if you feel like 25 on defense, meaning on Minnesota-Duluth, is a mismatch, then you can go ahead. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it is. So I think you gotta go set a pick for him with a short stick. Hopefully get that switch, and then number 23 on Fullerton can attack a short stick. Again, I feel like a broken record, but on offense, you want to initiate offense by dodging short sticks to draw slides. And if that comes through the use of picks or just straight dodges, there's many ways to do it, but that you got to get your best players in a position to score goals. So we had a turnover on the far sideline. I think he just got pushed straight out of bounds. He dropped the ball, and then he was worrying about the ground ball and got pushed out of bounds. So we're back with Minnesota on offense. Got top side, finds the pop on the crease. Good 2. Finds the ball on the ground. Hold. All right, good. So Fullerton gets the ball because they had a loose ball hold. We're getting some legs here. Get the ball to the attack, shot right into the defender's back. That got hurt. Well, it wasn't a bad look, but he shot it straight into the goal, straight into the defender's back. Now we get a 6-on-4. We're offsides. Or sorry, UMD's offsides. So that's either a player not listening to a coach or a coach just miscounting. Here comes Mikey over the midline. He's going to take that shot high to high from 20 yards. At this point, he's doing anything he can to try to help his team, but that might not be it. Good. That's good defense. We hear it from the coach, or at least I can hear it from the coach saying, break down, break down. Number 10's a freshman pull for Fullerton. Came out of San Diego Del Norte High School. So that's good defense from him. He shows up top side on number 16. 16 we've seen be quite a quick player out there, so it's good defense. And then they turn the ball over, but then once again, Fullerton turns the ball over on the clear. You know, Mikey's trying to throw 50-yard outlet passes to a kid who, you know, has been playing the whole game, doesn't have the legs to chase it down. Here's a forced ground ball, but Minnesota comes up with it. Feed to the nice. So that was a feed to the new guy coming in. Number 10 again has to rotate up to that new player because for some reason they had an open guy. So good rotation by 10, gets a stick on the shot and it goes out of bounds. Here's 18 on defense guarding McNamara. It's been a good matchup all game. McNamara, I believe, only has one goal. He had one goal in the first half. I haven't seen him in the second half score one, but there's been so many I lose track. But anyway, good defense. We're hopefully going to get a successful clear here if we can get it in the box. Nice little fake. Got him. So there's a good clear. Hey, Fullerton cleared the ball. You know, you just got to celebrate the little things. So we do get just watching the other side of the field, we are getting subs on the attack for Minnesota. Number 44 steps onto the field. Luke Hanen. So he's a sophomore attackman. That's good to see. You know, get your backups in. Yeah, we might even have these backup polls. I don't recognize these numbers for Fullerton, or sorry, for Minnesota. So that's good. As I said earlier, I'm all about getting everybody in, especially when you're up 15. Good play by the goalie. He comes out of his crease. Here he comes. That's a good. Ooh, easy. That's a flag down. Yeah, that's a bad penalty by Fullerton. I mean, you're down 15. You're taking the anger out on the goalie. So we're gonna maybe get a cross check there. Maybe to the helmet is a bad play. But good clear by good pickoff initially by the goalie, and then a good clear by Minnesota. Again, got their backups in, or just second line maybe. This is number 28, Ryan Larson. This is 44, a big guy, probably going to use his body to dodge. Feeds it through X, but couldn't handle the pass. Interesting that you have 44 on the wing. He's the righty, and then number 44, the righty on the wing, and then number 4, the lefty at X. You'd usually see that flipped. It's just because the lefty likes to play the lefty wing. So here comes man up for UMD. Yeah, so they'll keep their second line attack and their second middies in, even for the man up. Maybe these guys have practiced man up, maybe not, but you can just put them in a 3-3 and let them move the ball, because this is definitely their backup squad for man up. Number 5, Joshua Hootinen. Did get to talk to some parents before the game to try to get some pronunciations of these names, and that's Brian Hootinen. Oh, sorry, Joshua Hootinen. That's a great name. All right, so save on that man up. 2 minutes left in the game here. Another bomb, and the goalie's yelling, "Keep running!" Yeah, VJ's only been running this whole game. It's just not smart. It's all right. It will stay in bounds. And it will, yes. So successful clear. We got numbers here if you want them. Nope. Stopping through the midline. So we do have this attackman right here, number 4, Jacob Pitts. He's guarded by a short stick, but it's a minute 30 left. Oh, we're still going to shoot the ball. All right. I don't know if I'm Minnesota. I know it's your backups in, but I kind of call off the dogs at some point. Tell them just to wing it around for a minute and 30, and let's go home. Everyone's ready to go home here. Again, a minute 25 left in the game. 19-3. It was 18-3. So, I mean, if I'm Minnesota, I just hold the ball and just cycle it. But get some new guys in. Number 50's on the wing. Alex Schmidt, LSM, he's a junior. Number 8, Noah Myers, and then the face-up guy's new. Number 45, Aaron, AJKE. Not even going to try. But I think Fullerton did win their first face-off of the game. So maybe that's broke their spell there. But then the 45 takes a big hit on the crease. So that 45 could have been a penalty, but look, a minute left. Good. I hear 60 called. Maybe that's their open set, or maybe that's how much time's left. But 60 might mean 6-0, so 6 on the outside, 0 on the inside. You just have different calls as an offense. Something for young players to understand. Start listening to the other team's bench. Start listening to what their calls are, so you can understand. Like, look, if they're calling a 23 or 14, those usually mean what kind of formation they're in, like a 1-4-1 or a 2-3-1. And as a defense, it's helpful to know what formation they're in to know where the dodges come from and where they like to initiate offense. Or if they have a specific play that they call like an invert, then you can just, it's coming, so your defense can be ready. That's just one thing that I would do as a young defenseman. But that's the game, 19-3. Minnesota, pretty completely dominating performance, and they come away from spring break with 2 good wins, 21-6 over Sierra Nevada, and then today a good win. But both over ranked teams. This is Fullerton's number ranked 13, and Sierra Nevada was ranked 7. So, you got to beat who's on your schedule. So those are ranked teams and good wins. And I think that's all for me. Signing off. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you enjoy the game.
If you're a player looking for a lightweight head that delivers power and control, string up the Under Armour Command Low.